Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we are on to another part in my declutter series. We are on to single shadows. So I did go ahead and count how many shadows I have before we start this because I kind of want to feel for how many I'm keeping. I would like to only keep half. That's what I'm trying to do with the rest of my collection, is trying to keep only half or less. So this one here, I do have 158 single shadows. And that doesn't count, like this right here is a naked stack. So technically there's, I don't know how many's in here, honestly. Wait, I have no idea. Does it tell you how many's on here? Let's just look, okay? So the naked stacks do come, hang on, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they each come with 6, and I do have 3 naked stacks. I can tell you already I'm going to keep these, but I did count them as a whole. So I guess I could minus them out or whatever and figure out what the numbers are. Either way, I am keeping all the naked stacks because I do love those, so they are staying in my collection. The next one is Colourpop. Colourpop is another one that I really have been recently getting into, so I want to hold on to most of my Colourpop, so I can tell you already I'm holding on to those. So the naked one that I did keep, I forgot to tell you what shades these were. This is the, what is this collection? Well, I thought it said on here somewhere. Am I losing my mind? No, it says right here, the Urban Rustic collection. So that is the Urban Rustic. And the Urban Rustic, as you could probably see, was more like the neutral, like bronzy shades and green shades. So that one's really pretty. So this is Colourpop in the shade Mittens. So I'm going to hold on to this one right here. I do love the Colourpop shadows. I think they're very nice. My friend Brittany just recently got me back into Colourpop, so I'm very appreciative of that. The next one is the shade So Quiche. Some of these are so tightly screwed on, so here's So Quiche. Then we have, I'm trying to do this pretty quickly because I know we have so many to get through. Then we have Millionaire. So here is Millionaire. Holding on to that one. Then we have the shade Baby T. This one's a very dark blue. Honestly, I think I might pass this one along. So this one is I'm going to leave because I don't think I will see myself. I don't see myself using this one. So I'm going to pass that one along. Need to find somewhere to put these. Well, you know, I didn't plan ahead too well. So here, let's put the ones I'm decluttering up there. That's what we'll do. Then we have the Colourpop in the shade Melrose. So this is a matte shade. So here's what it looks like. It's a very pretty orangey shade. Keeping that one. Then we have the shade Crimper. And Crimper's really, really pretty. Oh my gosh, these are screwed on very tight. But you have to screw these on very tight so they don't dry out. So I'm going to keep Crimper. Then we have the shade Cornelious. Cornelious is one of the shades that Kathleen Lights created, so keeping that one. Then we have the shade Kennedy, and I'm not sure what this one's from, what that collection's from, but it's a really pretty color as well. Trying to make sure I get these back on nice and tight. Then we have the shade Bandit. Bandit's a really pretty color. Look at that. It's almost like clay mud almost. Love that shade. Clay mud on my eyeballs. I'll take it all day. Then we have As If, and I think this was like the 90s collection. So here is As If. Holding on to that one. Then we have the shade Koosh. And Koosh is very, very pretty. This is like one of my favorite ones that I have from Colourpop. Let me show you what this looks like. It's just so stinking pretty. Look. Do you see it? Whoa. That's some popping highlight. I mean highlights. Yeah, I guess it could be highlights instead of highlights. Then we have the shade Cricket. So here's Cricket. Cricket does have some sparkles into it. It's like a purple with some sparkles. Then we have the shade Lala. Lala is a very pretty bronzy shade as well. And then we have, goodness gracious, we have the shade Truth. Truth is more of like just a matte regular shade. Like almost like a taupey shade. Then we have the shade Crimper. Wait a minute. What? Didn't I just do Crimper, guys? Pretty sure we just did Crimper. Did I put it in the wrong box? What's going on? I have 2 Crimpers, so I'm going to pass one along. So which one looks the newest one? I'll pass along the newer looking one and keep the older one. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I had 2 with the same exact shade. Then I have the shade Highfive. This is the Super Shock Cheek. I don't like these as cheek palettes, cheek colors, to be honest with you. So I do use this as just a giant eyeshadow, so I'm going to hold on to that one. And then, is that it for Colourpop? Nope, here's another one. Then we have Party of 5. Do you guys remember that TV show, Party of 5? I love that show. Keeping that one. Alright, I think that is it for Colourpop now. Oh, no, one more. They're all sneaking around in here. Then we have the shade 90210. How did I forget about this shade? This is like the, I mean, everybody remembers 90210 from the 90s. So here's what it looks like. Very pretty. Holding on to that. Okay, so now we're moving on to things that we can actually declutter because goodness gracious, I kept a lot already. So now we are moving on to these color sticks. So I have the Milani, this is the, not Milani, this is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. I do have 2 of these for some reason. So I'm going to, wait a minute, that's not it. Here it is. So I do have 2 of these, ones that's brand new and one that's already been used. I'm going to keep the used one and pass along the unused one. Then I have more shadow sticks. So let's pull all these shadow sticks out of here. Let's see. All right. Got most of them. So we have a Beauty for Real, and I feel like a lot of these are very similar in shade, so I'm going to pass along the Beauty for Real. Then we have a Wet n Wild. What was the Beauty for Real shade? I should probably tell you guys. This is in the shade Midnight Marathon. Then we have a Wet n Wild, and this is in the shade, I don't find myself using these, Pixie. Pass that along. Then I have the Laura Mercier. Now this one's really nice. I'm going to hold on to the Laura Mercier, but I think I have 2 of the Laura Merciers. Yes, I do. I have 2, and they're both in the shade Rose Gold. So I'm going to, let's see which one is newer, and we'll pass along the newer one, and we'll keep the older one. Okay, so this is the older one, and this is the newer one. This one actually has not even been used, so I'm going to pass that one along. Then I have, what is this? Bobbi Brown. So this is Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown and the Laura Mercier are very similar. Let me swatch them side by side so I'll show you. So here is the Laura Mercier right here swatched. I don't know if you can even see it. See it right there? And then here is the Bobbi Brown swatched. So there's Bobbi Brown. I feel like they're very similar, but I am going to keep both of those because since I did get rid of one of the Laura Merciers, I'll keep both of these because that is a really pretty color. Then we have a Butte Basics in the shade Sahara Gold. These are very similar to the 2 that I just kept. Pass that one along. Then we have the LOC Loves Tati, or Tati Loves LOC. I'm not even sure how that was supposed to go, if it goes which way. This is in the shade Day Trip. And this is very similar as well to the other 2 that I already kept, so I'm going to pass that one along. Then we have the NARS. This is the NARS in Scorpius. Now this one's a really pretty color, so I'm going to hold on to that one. That one's a different color. Then I have a Tarte. This is the Smolder Eyes. This is the Amazonian Clay Waterproof Liner. So one side is like the highlight type thing, and then the other side is like a little smudger. But this is very similar to the ones that I already kept, so I'm going to pass that along. Then we have this is the Thrive Cosmetics Brilliant Eye Brightener. This is a new one to my collection, so I'm going to try it out and see if I do enjoy it. Then we have a Milani Shadow Eyes in the shade Espresso Lane. So here's this one. I'm going to pass that along because that's in the color that I know I'm not going to use. Then we have a CoverGirl. This is in the shade, this is the CoverGirl Flamed Out. And it's in the shade 360, so it's a blue shade. I'm not going to keep that because that's something I'm not going to use. Then we have a Tarte, the Eye Architect, the Liner in Shadow. So this is a dual-ended one again. So this has got like the black side on one side, and then the other side, oh wait, goes like that. It does have like a little bit of shadow here. I'm going to pass this along because I've never used it. It's just a little bit of a weird product. I don't understand it. Then we have the Milani Shadow Eyes in the Golden Bronze. Then we have, oh, that was passed along by the way. Then we have the Tristique. This is in the shade Kona Coffee. Too dark of a shade that I'm not going to use. I only like the ones basically for like inner corner highlights. Other than that, I don't want them. And I think that's it for those. Now we have regular shadows. So we have a Physicians Formula. This is the Neutral Highlight. This one's really good for like if you're for your brow bone highlight and things like that. But I don't find myself ever reaching for this, so I'm going to pass that along. Then we have a ton of Jessies Girls products. So I know I'm going to pass all these along because they are loose pigments, and I am not a total lover of loose pigments. And I've already decided that I want to keep all the Naked Cosmetics loose pigments, so I don't need to keep these along in conjunction. So I'm going to pass all these along. This is the shade Secret Weapon. Then we have the shade Blue Moon. Really pretty colors. Then we have the shade, what is this one? Baby Blues. I did do a video on all of these, so if you guys are interested in watching a video on these. Then we have the shade Kiwi Rose. Kiwi Rose is like a green pinky color. Then we have the shade, ooh, what is this one? Flambe. So Flambe is like a reddish tone. Then we have the shade, what is this one? Cafe au Lait. So here's Cafe au Lait. Then we have the shade, oh my gosh. Okay, I think we have to come back to this because I can't find it. Nope, here's another one. Then we have the shade Hi-Ho Silver. Their names for their different colors are very unique. Now let's move on to NYX. So I have some of these NYX products. These are the NYX, the prismatic eyeshadows. I can tell you these are beautiful on the eye, so I'm going to be keeping all of these. This one's in the shade Glass Slipper. So here's what Glass Slipper looks like. It is gorgeous. Then we have the shade Gilded. Gilded is like a bright yellow. It's really pretty though. The shade Savage. Savage for some reason is kind of falling out of the pan, so I have to be careful when I show you this one. For some reason it's decided to take a tumble or something. So there's Savage. And like I said, I'm keeping all of these. Then we have Liquid Gold. Here is Liquid Gold. Then we have Blue Jeans. This one's a really pretty color. These are like almost like a satiny type of shadow. Like when you touch them, they're very satiny like. And then when you put them on your eyelids, they just stay forever. Like they don't budge. They're just really, really good. Then we have the shade, this one here is a different type. This is called the Hot Singles. And this is in the shade Moneymaker. This is one that I know I'm not going to use, so I'm going to pass that one along. Then we're back to the Prismatics. And the Prismatic here is Bedroom Eyes. So this one's really pretty as well. I love all of these. All of these are spectacular. Then we have the shade Rose Dust. Rose Dust is another beautiful color. Then we have the shade Mermaid. Mermaid is one of my favorites. Again, I love this color right here. It's like that Tiffany blue. I guess it's that color that I just really love. Let me swatch it for you so I can show you how beautiful it is. Let's see, where can I swatch it? Right there. Do you see it? Like that is so pretty. Look at that color right here. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Holding on to that one. Then we have the shade Fireball. Fireball reminds me of the Urban Decay like shade that they have that's called Fireball. Holding on to that. Then we have the shade Frostbite. Frostbite is like a bluish white. It's beautiful. Then we have the shade Volatile. Volatile is like a purple, like a bright purple. Then we have the shade Punk Heart. Punk Heart is like a more deeper purple. And then, goodness gracious, we have the shade 10. 10 literally looks like 10 when you put it on. Clean finger here. And let me see if I can show you. Like, look. It looks like 10 when you put it on. It is so pretty. I'm telling you guys, if you guys are interested in some really long-lasting shadows, check out the Prismatics by NYX. They're amazing. Now we're moving on to some e.l.f. So this is the e.l.f. Smudge Pot in the shade Ain't That Sweet. I don't ever use this. I don't think I've ever even used this, did I? Yes, I did. So I'm going to pass this along though, or declutter actually. Then we're back to another Jessie's Girl. This is the Jessie's Girl in Fruit Punch. So I'm going to pass that along. Then we have a Meech and Mia, and this is in the shade White. This one's really, really pretty because it's like that greenish white, but I don't think I'm going to use it since I realized how many other pigments and singles that I have, so I'm going to pass that along. Then we have the shade from Jessie's Girl in Peekaboo. Look how pretty that is. Like, these colors are so pretty. Then we have another NYX, and this is in the shade Smoke and Mirrors. This is more of like almost like a smoky gray blue. It's really pretty. Then we have another NYX, and this is in the shade Golden Peach. Now, Golden Peach is beautiful, especially if you use it with the Too Faced Peach palette. Gorgeous. Now we have a Makeup Geek. This is the Makeup Geek, what is this called? The Afterglow Pigment. So here's what it looks like. This is gorgeous as well, so I'm going to hold on to that. Then we have an e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow. I don't like baked eyeshadows, I've figured out, and this is in the shade Pixie. Show you what it looks like up close. It's really pretty, but I just don't love baked eyeshadow, so declutter. Then we have another baked eyeshadow from e.l.f. and this is in the shade Bark. Here's what it looks like. Again, not a baked eyeshadow fan. Declutter. Then I have these two from Fiona Styles. These are the Radiant Aqua Eye Veils, and this one's in the shade Hudson. I got these because when Fiona Styles stuff was like leaving Ulta, they had these on sale, and I was like, hey, they look really pretty. They're kind of like the Revlon, except for these are very like sticky looking. I haven't tried these because they're kind of intimidating, so I'm actually going to declutter both of these. This one, that was the shade Hudson, and then here is the shade Arrow. So Arrow, Hudson was more of like a bronzy shade, and Arrow is more of like a brownish shade. So here is Arrow. I don't find myself using these, and I don't think that I will ever use those, so pass those along. Okay, so they're gone. Now let's go ahead and get into, I have a ton of these Stila ones. These are the Stila Magnificent Metals. So I am keeping all of these because if you're looking for a fantastic glitter eyeshadow, these will stay on your eyes. They do transfer just a little bit, but just let your eye dry and then it won't transfer as much. So I have the shade Rose Gold Retro, keeping. Then we have the shade Sea Siren. Love the shade. It's like it's almost like a duochrome. Then we have the shade Gold Goddess. Velvet Vixen is a pretty purple. Then we have Molten Midnight. This one my friend Lashes Tony XO sent to me. And then, where's the other ones? Is that all of those? No. Come on. I know I have more of those. They're all just scattered, guys. So hopefully this isn't too noisy. The box isn't too noisy for the microphone, which is really close to the box. Then we have the shade Bronzed Belle. So here's Bronzed Belle, keeping that one. Then we have the shade Kitten Karma. Kitten Karma is like one of that's like the iconic shades for Stila. And then we have the shade Ballet Baby. Ballet Baby is a pretty purple. And then we have the shade, oh my gosh, Diamond Dust, keeping. And then now we're on to some smaller ones from Stila. So these are like the small gift set that I purchased this past Christmas. So we have two different types here. We have the Glitter and Glow and the Shimmer and Glow. So in the Glitter and Glow type of ones, we have three different shades. We have Smoldering Satin, which is this shade right here. Then we have Peachy Sheen. And we have Next to Note. I have no idea what that says. And then we have, in the Shimmer and Glows, we have the shade Twig. What is this one? Grace. And Kitten. So we have another Kitten, but this is a different type. And like I told you guys already, I do have two more naked stacks. So here are the other two naked stacks, and I am keeping all of these. So the two different ones we have here are the Sierra Nevada and the Mother Nature. So these are all beautiful shades. If you guys would like to see me swatch all these out, let me know, because I can totally do that for you guys. If you guys have never really tried Naked Cosmetics, I really love their cosmetic line. Then we have a Stila. This is the Stila Magnificent Metal Foil Finish Eyeshadow in the shade Kitten. I think it's Kitten. Yep, it's Kitten. I don't like this at all. I think it's weird. Like, you get the eyeshadow that's Kitten, but it's like a crushed eyeshadow, and then you get these little drops that you're supposed to use with it. I don't like this at all, so I'm going to pass that along. Then we have a NARS eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Himalaya. I don't ever find myself reaching for this, so I'm going to pass that along. Then we have the Maybelline Color Tattoo, and this is in the shade Bad to the Bronze. I used to love these, but honestly, I don't ever reach for these anymore. I would rather use a Colourpop, so I'm going to pass that along. Then I have a glossy box. This is in Glossy Mauve. This is a really beautiful color, though, so it's almost making me want to keep it just because of the color, but I know I won't reach for it, so pass. Then I have a lot of L'Oreal ones here, and these are the L'Oreal Infallibles. And again, something I'm not going to reach for because they're more of like a pressed pigment, and I have the shade Endless Pearl. So here is Endless Pearl. Pass that along. Then we have the shade Endless Sea, which is a beautiful color. Like, this one is the one that I think I'm going to keep. This one. I will keep that one. It's beautiful. Then I have the shade Amber Rush. Amber Rush is like one of the famous ones from the Infallible line. Then I have the shade Iced Latte. That's another famous one from the Infallible line. So I'm passing all of those along. And then we have a Your Minerals. This is in the shade Brown Hypnotic. So here's what the shade actually looks like. I've never even tried that, so pass. Then we have a Marsk. This is a Marsk Mineral Eyeshadow in Your Toast. Now, believe it or not, this is a gorgeous eyeshadow. I am going to hold on to this. Then we have another baked eyeshadow from e.l.f. And this is in the shade Toasted. Not a baked eyeshadow fan, so pass. Then we have a NYX Prismatic in the shade Jaded. Look at the shade right here. Look how pretty that is. That would be such a gorgeous shade for like my sweater weather season. Beautiful. Then I have a ton of these Wet n Wild pigments as well. Not a ton, but I have quite a few here. 5, 6, something like that. We have the Wet n Wild loose pigments, and since I've already kept other loose pigments, I don't want to keep these as well. This one's in the shade Kung Fu Lightning. And then we have the shade Mythical Dreams. So this is like a purple shade. Then we have the shade Heart of Rose Gold. So there's what that looks like. Then we have the shade Unicorn Wishes. Now that's a really pretty color though, but I'm not keeping these because I feel like I am never going to use all these loose pigments. Then we have Pegasus Flutter. And the last one is Dom with Cherry on top. So there are all the little loose pigments from Wet n Wild that I'm passing along. Then I have two little glitter things from Too Faced. One is Nude Beam, and you can't even really see these. Let me see if I can try to show you some. Oh gosh, no. These are like glitter nightmares. If you want glitter, do not use these. These are a mess. So we have Nude Beam and Glitterly, and I'm passing both of those along. No way I'm going to use those. I know I will have a mess everywhere. Found another Wet n Wild one, and this one's in the shade Right on My Copper. Pass that along. I have another little pencil, not pencil, but a, what is this called? This is called a Caviar Stick, and this is in the shade Plum. This is a Laura Mercier one. I'm going to pass that along because that's not a shade I'm going to use. Then we have a Starlux. This is a Starlux. They sent me this like randomly, like about a year ago. And this is in the shade Aqua. This is a water eyeshadow. I have never tried this, but look at the shadow, guys. It is so pretty. I don't know where I can swatch it. I'm going to keep this because I think it's so pretty looking. Look at that. I'm going to hold on to that one. Then I have another Infallible, and it's in the shade Gilded Envy. I'm passing that along. Then we have a Pacifica eyeshadow, and I don't love Pacifica eyeshadows. I think they're just an okay formula, so I'm going to pass that along. Then we have a few Urban Decay shadows. Let me see if I can grab them all here. Try to do them all at one time. Yep, here we go. So we have the shades Bordello. I'm trying to see if I can hold them and open them. We have the shade Bordello, and oh no, we lost one, guys. Just know I'm keeping them all. So here is Bordello. And then we have the shade Midnight Cowboy. Midnight Cowboy does have a little bit of sparkle into it. Then we have the shade Sen. Sen is beautiful. I love that shade. And then we have the shade Sellout. Oh, they're hard to open. Here's Sellout. And then I have the shade Scratch. And Scratch is a really beautiful shade as well. I do have this little palette thing that I can put all of my Urban Decay little singles in. This one right here that you can put 4 into. So I may end up putting some of those into here, and then maybe I'll use them more. Then I have a few Hikari eyeshadows. This one is called the Hikari. Gosh, these things are hard to open. Hikari in Wine. I love the shade, so I'm going to hold on to that. Then we have the shade Haze. Haze is a more, just a plain creamy shade. I don't think I'm going to hold on to that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pass this whole set along. I'm not going to just pass one along. I'll pass the whole set. And then we have the shade Thunder. Thunder is a really pretty color, but I know I have shades within my collection that are similar to these, so I'm going to pass them all along. Then I have the Wet n Wild. This is in Brulee. This is the one that everybody talks about, so I had to pick it up, especially when I found it for like 60 cents. I was like, yeah, I'll try that out. Then I have the Wet n Wild in the shade Sugar Spice. I don't like this one. This one's actually no good. I'm going to pass it along. For me, it's no good. Then I have two MAC single shadows. This is in the Trolls collection, and this is in Paradisco. I think that's how you say it. So here's what it looks like. I am going to hold on to these because I think they're very pretty, and I like the little troll little design in those, even though I know that's going to disappear as soon as I use them quite frequently. And then we have Suns Out, Buns Out. Look at them. Their names are funny. Then we have an e.l.f. pigment eyeshadow in the shade, no shade, oh, here it is, Baked Brown. So I'm going to pass this along because, again, I don't need that many pigment shadows. Then we have another Marsk, and this one's in the shade Lucky Penny. And again, I told you guys already that Marsk is a really, really good brand. So I'm going to keep Lucky Penny as well as the other one that I kept from Marsk. Then I have a Revlon Color Stay Cream Eyeshadow in the shade, oh my gosh, I can't even see what it says. I don't know what shade this is, guys. Oh, 760. I guess these are just numbers. I'm going to pass that along. I'd rather use a Colourpop. Then I have some e.l.f. singles. I think this must have been a set or something. Where's the other one? I know there was 3. Where are you at? Are you hiding? Stop hiding. Come out. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just 2. Nope, here it is. No, it's not it. Either way, I do have 3 little e.l.f. ones. They're all like purple shades, but I will never reach for these. I know I won't, so I'm going to pass these all along to someone else who will give them a better home. Then I have an e.l.f. smudge pot, I think this is. Yeah, smudge pot in the shade Cruisin' Chic. Now this one is one that I actually think I am going to keep because it's really, really pretty. I like that color, so I'm going to hold on to that. Then I have the Revlon Color Stay Cream Shadow in the shade 705. I'm going to pass that along. Don't need that many cream shadows. Then I have a Bare Minerals. This is a Nude Beach. Now this is gorgeous. It's a loose shadow, but it's so pretty. I'm going to hold on to that one. Then I have a few from Lorac here. I have two Lorac. This one is the eyeshadow in Honey. I know I've never tried this, and I probably never, well, I think I might have swatched it, but I didn't really try it too much, so I'm going to pass that along. Then I have a Pro Palette Cream. This is just a plain little cream one, and it's never even been swatched or anything, so pass that along. Then I have a Nomad. This is the Nomad, I don't know what this is. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to pass that along because I know I'm not going to use that. Then I have a Chanel Illusion de Ombre Luminous Eyeshadow in the shade New Moon. This is just a little sample I got in my So Schwa thing. I'm going to try this out and see how good it is because it's a really fancy brand. If it's good, then maybe I'll purchase it. If it's not, then at least I save my money. Then I have a little Bahama Mama bronzer. This is not actually an eyeshadow, but you can use it as an eyeshadow because it's so tiny. Pass that along. Then I have a Cargo. This is the one in Joey and the Rocks duo. I know this is a very plain duo, but I have to keep it because it says Joey. I know that's a silly reason to keep it, but that's my husband's name. His name is Joe, so I'm going to keep that one. Then we have this DLS eyeshadow in the shade Teaser. So here's what this looks like. I don't really like the DLS shadows, so pass that on. There's the other purple one from e.l.f. So here's the other purple one that I'm going to pass along with that little trio. Pass that one along. Then I have some cream little products here. I have a Milk Makeup Eye Pigment in the shade Silent Disco. I don't like these. Pass. Then I have a Makeup Forever Aqua XL in the shade M56. Don't like that. Pass that along. Then I have a CoverGirl Bombshell Shine Shadow in the shade Copper Fling. Nope. Pass these along. I don't particularly like that type of shadow. Then I have an Ulta Beauty Glitter Tears eyeliner. It's not an eyeliner because it just doesn't really stick. It doesn't really do much. This is actually going to get tossed. Then we have a Star Minerals Crushed Minerals. What the heck? This is in the shade Champagne. It's really pretty. It's like a loose pigment, but I have a lot of loose pigments that are that similar shade. Then I have a Makeup Geek, and this is in the shade Birthday Wish. This is gorgeous. Look at that shade. It's definitely a duochrome. I don't know if you can even see it. Let me see if I can show you without... Hopefully I don't spill it. I don't know. It's going to spill, I'm afraid. So this is a beautiful one, so I'm going to hold on to that. Then I have a Bare Minerals in the shade True Gold. This is another really pretty one from Bare Minerals, but this one here, I feel like, I don't know if I'm going to use, yes, I will use that. It's a really pretty color. I'm going to hold on to it. And then we have, okay, what else do we have in here? We have a Milani Shadow Eyes in the shade Lovely Frost. It's like a silver. Pass. We have an Ulta eyeshadow in the shade Gold Dust. That does not look like gold whatsoever to me. Pass. Then another little Ulta one. This one's never been used. It's in the shade YOLO. Pass. Then we have just a few more here, guys. So we only have, I think, 5 or 6 more. Oh, yep. Here we go. All right. We have the Mica. This is the Mica Beauty Cosmetics in the shade Bronze. Again, I think I have tons of shades that are like this already, so I'm going to pass that along. And then I have a Lorac. This is the Pro Palette Espresso shade, so it's just a brown shade from Lorac. Pass. Then we have a e.l.f. Mineral Pressed Shadow in the shade Birthday Cake. It's a really pretty purple, but it's like a pastel purple, so I'm going to pass that along because that's not my shade. Then we have a Lorac Pro To Go in Chai. Pretty, but pass. Then I have a Starlux, and this is brand new, never been used. Starlux in the shade Gold Coast. Pass that along as well. Then we have another e.l.f. Smudge Pot, and this one's in the shade Brownie Points. This is another really pretty one, so I'm going to keep that one. That one's really gorgeous. Keep. Then we have an e.l.f. Long Lasting Luxurious Eyeshadow in the shade Gala. I don't like this shade, honestly. I think it's just too dark. So for something that I'm going to lay down on my lid, so I'm going to pass that along. So is that it? That is it, guys. So I have decluttered all of my single shadows. Here's everything I'm keeping. I would show you everything that I'm getting rid of, but it's like all scattered now. I will have the numbers inserted through here so you can tell. I can tell you guys how many I've kept and how many I've decluttered. Let me know if I actually got it in half because I don't know right now. I can't tell. I hope I did. Let's say I hope I did. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, what would you like for me to do next? Declutter? Would you like to see organization? Declutter? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.